There comes a moment in your life when something inside you stirs. It's not just a thought, not just an idea, but a deep, unshakable feeling that you can't go on living the way you've been living. Maybe you've been carrying around the same habits, the same fears, the same excuses for years, and suddenly, they feel unbearable. It's like waking up from a long dream and realizing you've been asleep far too long. If you're hearing these words right now, it's not by accident. You didn't stumble across this speech by coincidence. You're here because something inside you is ready, maybe terrified, maybe uncertain, but ready. Ready to change. Ready to step into a version of yourself you've never met before. Change doesn't happen when life is easy. It doesn't happen when everything is comfortable. It happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of becoming something new. That's where you are right now. You're at that crossroad, where the life you've known ends, and the life you've always wanted begins. But here's the truth most people never want to face. Change isn't a single decision, it's a constant decision. Every day, in every choice, in every moment, you're deciding who you are becoming. This journey will test you, break you, and rebuild you. And if you're ready to see this through, it will transform you in ways you can't yet imagine. The first step toward change is the hardest, looking in the mirror and telling yourself the truth. Not the filtered version, not the sugar-coated story you tell others, but the raw, unedited truth about who you've been and how you've been living. That truth can be ugly. It can make you feel ashamed, regretful, even angry. But it's the most powerful starting point you'll ever have, because you can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. Most people never do this. They spend their lives blaming circumstances, pointing fingers, or distracting themselves so they never have to face their own reflection. But the moment you have the courage to say, "This is who I am right now, and it's not who I want to be," you've already begun the transformation. You have to be willing to break the illusions that have kept you comfortable. Maybe you've been telling yourself that you're trying your best when deep down you know you've been holding back. Maybe you've been pretending that certain habits aren't that bad, when in reality they're destroying your potential. These illusions are like chains, invisible, but heavy enough to keep you from moving forward. The day you see them for what they are is the day you start breaking free. Honesty is scary because it leaves no place to hide. It forces you to take responsibility. But here's the beautiful thing. When you strip away the lies, the excuses, the masks, you're left with something pure, possibility. You see yourself not just as you are, but as you could be. And that vision is the spark that ignites everything else. So right now, I want you to do something most people avoid for their entire lives. Stop and face yourself. Ask the hard questions. What am I avoiding? What am I pretending not to know? What would my life look like if I stopped lying to myself? The answers may hurt, but they are the door to your next chapter. One of the hardest parts of change isn't starting something new. It's letting go of who you've been. For years, maybe even decades, you've worn labels that the world gave you. Some you accepted willingly, others were forced on you. You're shy. You're lazy. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. At first, they're just words. But over time, they start to sink into your skin until they feel like part of your DNA. Maybe you've been the funny one who hides pain behind jokes. Maybe you've been the reliable one who takes care of everyone else while quietly neglecting yourself. Or maybe you've been the failure in your own eyes, carrying memories of mistakes like heavy stones in your pockets. But here's the truth, those labels are not you. They are snapshots from moments in your past, and they only still have power because you keep carrying them forward. Letting go means more than just saying, "That's not me anymore." It means mourning that old version of yourself, even if they were broken. It means acknowledging that, yes, they got you this far, but they can't take you where you're going. Think of it like a snake shedding its skin. The skin once protected it, but if the snake tries to hold on to it, it will suffocate. In the same way, your old identity once served a purpose, but now it's suffocating your growth. You must be willing to step out of it, even if it leaves you feeling vulnerable and exposed, so the real you can finally emerge. This is where many people get stuck. They want change, but they don't want to give up the comfort of their old patterns. They want to be seen as the new person, but they're still living under the shadow of the old one. You can't have both. You can't become something new while clinging to what's familiar. If you hold on to your old story, you'll keep replaying it until it becomes your future. You'll keep proving yourself right, that you're just not that kind of person, that people like you don't do great things, that this is just who you are. And the more you repeat it, the more it becomes reality. But here's the beauty of life. At any moment, you can decide that your story changes. You can rewrite the narrative. You can say, "That was me then. This is me now." It doesn't erase your past, but it reframes it. Instead of being proof of your limits, it becomes proof of your resilience. Right now, as you listen to this, I want you to think about the identity you've been holding on to, the one that's safe but small, comfortable but limiting. Picture yourself setting it down. Imagine walking away from it, even if you don't yet know who you'll be without it. That uncertainty you feel? That's the space where transformation begins. There's a reason so many people give up on their goals, because goals alone don't have the power to pull you forward. Goals are just targets on paper, numbers on a list, boxes to check. They're important, but they don't breathe life into you. A vision does. A vision is a picture so vivid, so emotionally charged, that it pulls you through fear, doubt, and discomfort. It's not just what you want, it's why you want it, what it will feel like, what it will mean for you and the people you love. When you wake up tired, a vision is what gets you out of bed. When you feel like giving up, a vision is what makes you take one more step. Most people try to push themselves toward change with sheer willpower. But willpower fades. A vision pulls. It becomes a gravitational force, drawing you closer every day without the constant fight against yourself. You can't just say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. That's too vague, too hollow. You have to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it. If you say you want financial freedom, picture the exact moment you achieve it. Where you are, who you're with, the freedom you feel knowing you've broken free from debt. If you say you want to be healthier, imagine the way your body will move, the energy you'll have, the way your clothes will fit. Write it down. Speak it out loud. See it in your mind every single day. Because here's the truth, your brain doesn't just work with logic, it works with emotion. And the more emotion you attach to your vision, the more your mind will seek ways to make it real. Here's something uncomfortable. Many people don't fail because they aim too high, they fail because they aim too low and actually hit their target. Small thinking feels safe, but it keeps you in the same cycle. If your vision doesn't scare you at least a little, it's not big enough to change you. Think about it, the version of you that plays small is the same version you're trying to leave behind. If you want transformation, your vision has to be so big that it demands you become someone new just to reach it. That's the point. The goal isn't just to achieve something, it's to evolve into the kind of person who can. Right now, ask yourself, if I wasn't afraid, what would I truly want? If I knew I couldn't fail, what would my life look like? That answer is your vision. And once you see it clearly, once it becomes more real in your mind than the life you're living now, you won't have to push yourself toward it anymore. It will start pulling you forward every single day. There's no sugarcoating this, real change hurts. It's uncomfortable, inconvenient, and often lonely. That's why so few people truly transform their lives. Everyone wants the results, but not everyone is willing to pay the price. And the price is discipline. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when your body craves more sleep. It's showing up to the gym when you're tired. It's choosing the harder path when the easy one is calling your name. And yes, it's going to feel painful at first, because you're breaking the comfort cycles you've lived in for years. But here's the paradox. The very pain you feel when you start building discipline is the same pain that will make you stronger, more focused, more resilient. Just like a muscle only grows when it's torn and rebuilt, your character only grows when it's challenged. Motivation is a spark. It's exciting, it's energizing, but it burns out fast. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after motivation dies. The truth is, you won't always feel motivated. Some days you'll want to quit. Some days you'll wonder if it's even worth it. And on those days, discipline is what carries you. One way to make discipline easier is to remove the decision altogether. Stop negotiating with yourself. If you decide that you work out at 7 a.m. every day, then that's it. No debate, no, do I feel like it today? It's not up for discussion. The more you train yourself to act without overthinking, the more discipline becomes automatic. Willpower is like a battery, it drains throughout the day. But habits? Habits run on autopilot. The trick is to use your willpower when it's strongest, usually early in the day, to reinforce habits that will serve you for the long term. If you want to change your life, stop trying to overhaul everything at once. Start small, stay consistent, and let the momentum build. One disciplined action leads to another, and over time, those small actions will completely reshape who you are. Remember this, discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. The more you walk across it, the more natural it feels. And one day you'll wake up and realize that what used to feel like a sacrifice now feels like your standard. Most people believe fear means stop. They think it's a warning sign to turn around, to run back to safety. But here's the truth. Fear is usually a sign you're moving in the right direction. If it scares you, it probably matters. If it makes your heart race and your palms sweat, it means you're stepping into territory that will grow you. Fear is a compass. It points toward the places where your potential lives. The problem is, we've been conditioned to see fear as a threat instead of a guide. So we avoid it, we hide from it, and in doing so, we avoid the very things that would change our lives. The next time you feel fear, I want you to pause and ask yourself, am I in actual danger or am I just uncomfortable? Because most of the time, it's not danger, it's discomfort. And discomfort is where transformation is born. You can't eliminate fear, it's wired into you. But you can learn to use it. The moment you feel afraid, that's your signal to lean in instead of retreat. Your body's telling you that something important is at stake, something worth pursuing. Think of fear like a wild horse. Untamed, it will throw you off every time you try to ride it. But once you learn to hold the reins, that same power can carry you further than you ever imagined. The key is to act in spite of fear, to make moves before you feel ready, to speak before you're sure, to try before you're certain of the outcome. Every time you do this, fear loses a little bit of its control over you. It stops being a wall and starts being a doorway. Fear isn't the only thing holding you back. Resistance is just as dangerous. Resistance is quieter, subtler. It shows up as procrastination, as "I'll do it tomorrow," as endless planning without action. It's the voice that tells you you're not ready yet, that you need just a little more time, a little more preparation. But here's the truth, resistance is fear in disguise. It's fear wearing a friendly face. And the only way to beat it is to act faster than it can talk you out of it. If you wait until you're no longer afraid, you'll wait forever. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll never start. The people who change their lives aren't fearless. They're just willing to act while fear is still in the room. So the next time fear and resistance show up, don't run. Stand there, feel it, and then move anyway. That's how you take your power back. You can have the strongest will in the world, but if you surround yourself with people who pull you backward, you'll eventually slow down. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. The people you spend the most time with aren't just influencing you, they're shaping you, molding you, programming your thoughts, your habits, your standards. If you're constantly around negativity, you'll start thinking negative thoughts. If you're constantly around laziness, you'll start making lazy choices. If you're constantly around small-mindedness, you'll start shrinking your own vision just to fit in. This isn't weakness, it's human nature. We mirror what's around us. The most dangerous people in your life aren't always obvious. Sure, there are those who openly criticize you, mock your dreams, or tell you can't do something. But often, the real danger comes from the ones who seem supportive on the surface, yet constantly plant seeds of doubt, distract you from your goals, or subtly discourage your progress. They might say things like, "Are you sure that's realistic?" Or, "Don't work too hard, you deserve to relax." These don't sound harmful, but over time they chip away at your drive. Before you know it, you're back to your old patterns. Not because you didn't want change, but because you were swimming in an environment that made change nearly impossible. If you want to change your life, you need people who make you raise your standards. People who see more in you than you see in yourself. People who don't just clap for your wins but call you out when you're slipping. This doesn't mean abandoning everyone from your past, but it does mean being intentional. Seek out those who inspire you, who are living the kind of life you want to build. Learn from them. Spend time in rooms where you're the least experienced person. It will force you to grow faster than you ever could on your own. Here's the truth, comfort is the enemy of growth. If everyone around you makes you feel comfortable, you're probably in the wrong circle. The right people will challenge you, push you, and sometimes even make you uncomfortable, not to break you, but to build you. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose carefully. Your future depends on it. We live in a world that worships instant results. Lose weight in a week. Get rich overnight. Learn a skill in a weekend. But real, lasting transformation doesn't work like that. It takes time, more time than you want it to, more patience than you think you have. And that's why so many people quit before they see results. Change isn't a straight line. It's messy. You'll have setbacks. You'll take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. You'll question yourself. You'll wonder if you're wasting your time. And in those moments, the people who fail are the ones who expected the journey to be fast and easy. The truth is, if you want something that lasts, you have to be willing to put in the work for as long as it takes. Not just until you get the result, but for the rest of your life, because the person you're becoming is worth maintaining. If you only love the result, you'll quit the moment the result takes longer than expected. But if you learn to love the process, the daily grind, the small wins, the quiet moments of progress, then you'll keep going no matter how long it takes. This is why the most successful people in any field aren't obsessed with the finish line. They're obsessed with showing up every day, improving little by little, mastering their craft. The journey becomes the reward. If you can learn to wake up and feel grateful just for the chance to keep going, even when it's hard, then you've already won. Because you're no longer chasing change, you're living it. Most people quit when it gets hard because they're still holding onto the option of quitting. Remove that option. Burn the ships. Make quitting impossible. Decide now that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you have to start over, you will not stop. This is where identity comes full circle. When you commit to the long game, you stop being someone who tries to change, and you become someone who lives in constant growth. You become the kind of person who doesn't just dream about a better life, you build it, brick by brick, for as long as it takes. You've heard the truth. You've felt the weight of it in your chest. You know deep down that this isn't just another speech you'll forget tomorrow, this is your wake-up call. Life is giving you a choice right now. Keep walking the same familiar road, or step into the unknown and finally become who you were meant to be. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream about. It's on you. And that's the best news you could ever hear, because it means you have the power to change it all. You already know what happens if you stay the same. You've lived that story. You've felt that frustration, that regret, that quiet ache inside your soul that whispers, I was meant for more. So why go back? Why choose the life you've already outgrown? The moment you decide, truly decide, that you're done with excuses, done with half efforts, done with waiting for the right time, everything changes. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions and you start creating them. You stop dreaming about a better future and you start building it, one disciplined, fearless, relentless step at a time. This is not about tomorrow. It's not about next week. It's not about someday. It's about right now. Because right now is the only moment you actually have. And if you let it pass, you'll never get it back. So stand up. Take the first step. And keep stepping until the life you've imagined becomes the life you're living. One day, you'll look back on this moment, and you'll realize this was the day everything changed. This is your time. Don't waste it.